And a special welcome if this is your first time dropping by our shared space here at Jefe Conte. Today we're tackling a topic that's very close to my heart and one that I know affects so many of you: expat life and what's often labeled as the brain drain. How many times have we heard that those that leave are betraying their country? And how many times have we perhaps felt a little guilty for finding our path and a degree of financial stability abroad? I've been there myself. As an Italian, I almost felt like I had to justify making it here, finding financial stability and the life that I love, far from home. And that's precisely why I created this space, our Jefe Conte Lounge, not to brag about my success, but not to silence it either. And I want you, if you're thinking of leaving or if you're already abroad, to never feel bad about it again. Brain drain is a label I personally don't like because it sounds like we're escaping from a prison. But I have to ask, if life in your country is so wonderful, why do many people decide to pack their bags and leave? And there are many reasons. Some are seeking adventure in exotic, faraway places, or maybe it's for a self-discovery. I'll tell you that the reason I left wasn't to run away, but to go and find what in Italy, well, I just couldn't find. Today, I'm sharing my story of how I went from Rome to the Principality of Monaco. So, let's start with the fact that when I say I'm an expat, I'm moving to the French Riviera, everyone imagines this Hollywood movie life. Cocktails with a sea view, a stellar career, living the high life. The reality? For the first year, my diet consisted of more beans than I cared to admit, and my apartment with a view faced a brick wall. But you know what I find funny? When I go back to Italy and people say, "Oh, but you live in Monte Carlo," with that tone as if I come from old money. The truth is that I left with a suitcase and a lot of hope. And over time, I've learned three fundamental things that I've packed into my expat suitcase. A suitcase I'll carry with me forever, wherever I decide to go. And it's these three things I want to talk to you about. The first, and perhaps most important thing I've gained is personal growth. Living means stepping out of your comfort zone. And that's not just a cliche. It means learning to fend from yourself, building a new network of friends and adapting to a different culture. Believe it or not, I didn't intentionally move for a tax haven or to engage in tax evasion, as the common stereotypes suggest. I first came as a tourist, and in the future videos, I'll tell you more about my start here, who I am, where I come from, and where I am going. Anyway, for me, the Principality had become a sort of challenge to see if I could make it in this world, until I finally landed an internship. And that's when I realized not that I had to find my place in the world, but that I was building my place in the world. In the beginning, it was a huge investment, especially in myself, and a financial one, of course. Think about it. I was earning a 700 euros monthly gratification and paying 500 euros just for rent. But every sacrifice taught me something, made me stronger and more aware of what I could and what I wanted to do. And now for the second point, the one that probably interests most people: money. The elephant in the room that everyone sees but no one mentions. Economic opportunities are one of the main drivers for living. And here in Monaco, for example, the difference with Italy is significant. If I think about whatever job, I can easily multiply the salary of that by at least 2. Before I give you some concrete example, let's have a quick coffee break in the lounge, just to be super transparent on one point. Let's not generalize. Monaco is its own world, an almost unique reality. If we were talking about Steven, who lives in Barcelona, or Jessica, who chose Hong Kong, they would each tell a different story, with challenges and advantages specific to that place. However, beyond the differences, what I wanted to emphasize is that it's not just about a higher salary, and anyway, salary doesn't just depend on the sector, but also on the company. The same role in two different companies can mean a significant difference. In any case, here in Monaco, the entire work ecosystem is different. I'll give you an example that you will get right away. In Italy, when I was job hunting, I must have sent out about 50 resumes to get maybe 2 replies. Here, my first time, I sent 3 resumes and I got called for 4 interviews. And mind you, the resume was exactly the same, I just had translated it in French. Then, of course, references and a good network help. That wasn't my case when I came to work here, but I feel that's true anywhere in the world. Then, specifically here, there's also a priority system, which I have discussed in another video that I link in the description. But there's a starting point, your skills and your values. That's the end of the coffee break. Let's get back to concrete salary example, and let's take 3 different professional roles with 3 different salary ranges as well. A waiter here in Monaco can start at a base of around 2,000 to 2,300 euros per month, excluding tips. For a nurse in Monaco, we're talking about a salary starting at 2,500 per month. And if you're a freelancer, for example, you can even reach 8,000, 9,000 euros per month. And for roles like a financial manager, salaries can be around 7,000 or 12,000 euros per month. Of course, the cost of living in Monaco is maybe higher, but the salaries are more than proportional and the quality of services is extremely high. This allows you not only to live well, but also to reach the end of the month with savings and let you plan for the future, something that for many has become a fantasy. The third thing I've gained is perhaps the most personal, learning to be with solitude. And I don't mean the sad loneliness, but the ability to be happy with yourself. When you leave behind loved ones and family, Sunday lunches at your grandparents, drinks with your usual group of friends. All of that, at first, you miss like crazy. There were hard times, moments when I asked myself, what was I thinking? But it's precisely by going through that feeling of distance that you learn to rely on your own strength. You learn to choose people you surround yourself with, transforming and strengthening existing relationships, and building new, authentic bonds. And above all, you learn not to depend on others for your happiness. It's a crucial lesson that, in my opinion, makes you a more balanced and complete person. So, is expat life a yes or a no? Expat life isn't just one big amazing party. It has its challenges, its down moments. It's not for everyone, and it's not the solution to all the problems. But it can give you real, tangible rewards that perhaps are hard to find in your country today. Joining the expat community is a choice that tests you but pays you back with a suitcase full of experiences, skills, and a new self-awareness. So, if you're tired of sending hundreds of resumes into a black hole that no one ever reads, if you have that restlessness inside because you have heard this message dozens of times, but it's never stuck, and above all, if you feel up to it, put yourself out there. Go abroad, even just for a fixed-term experience to enrich your personal suitcase and then maybe return back to your country with an extra edge. Sometimes all you need is a change of scenery to catch your breath again. Okay, now I want to hear from you. Are you an expat? Tell me about your experience in the comments. What have you gained? And if there's anything you've lost. Are you thinking about leaving? Tell me what's holding you back, what your fears and questions are. I will read your messages one by one because this isn't a challenge for passive viewers, but a place where all opinions are welcome as long as they are expressed with mutual respect. For my part, I will always commit to providing you with practical content to answer your question and help you make your decision. Then, the final choice will always be yours. And speaking of choices, I want to leave you with a quote from Laurie Bushnan that has guided me for years. Whatever you're not changing, you're choosing. I hope this gives you some food for thoughts as well. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon back in the lounge for the next video. Bye!